10th Day of Waiting on God by Andrew Murray. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Christopher Smith. Waiting on God in humble fear and hope. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul hath waited for the Lord, he is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us, according as we wait for thee. Psalm 33, verses 18 to 22. God's eye is upon his people, their eye is upon him. In waiting upon God, our eye, looking up to him, meets his looking down upon us. This is the blessedness of waiting upon God, that it takes our eyes and thoughts away from ourselves, even our needs and desires, and occupies us with our God. We worship him in his glory and love, with his all-seeing eye watching over us, that he may supply our every need. Let us consider this wonderful meeting between God and his people, and mark well what we are taught here of them on whom God's eye rests, and of him on whom our eye rests. The eye of the Lord is on them that fear him, on them that hope in his mercy. Fear and hope are generally thought to be in conflict with each other. In the presence and worship of God, they are found side by side in perfect and beautiful harmony. And this because in God himself all apparent contradictions are reconciled. Righteousness and peace, judgment and mercy, holiness and love, infinite power and infinite gentleness, a majesty that is exalted above all heaven, and a condescension that bows very low, meet and kiss each other. There is indeed a fear that hath torment, that is cast out entirely by perfect love. But there is a fear that is found in the very heavens. In the song of Moses and the Lamb they sing, "Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name?" And out of the very throne the voice came, "Praise our God, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him." Let us in our waiting ever seek to fear the glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God. The deeper we bow before his holiness in holy fear and adoring awe, in deep reverence and humble self-abasement, even as the angels veil their faces before the throne, the more will his holiness rest upon us, and the soul be filled to have God reveal himself. The deeper we enter into the truth that no flesh glory in his presence, will it be given us to see his glory. The eye of the Lord is on them that fear him, on them that hope in his mercy. So far will the true fear of God be from keeping us back from hope, it will stimulate and strengthen it. The lower we bow, the deeper we feel we have nothing to hope in but his mercy. The lower we bow, the nearer God will come and make our hearts bold to trust him. Let every exercise of waiting, let our whole habit of waiting on God be pervaded by abounding hope, a hope as bright and boundless as God's mercy. The fatherly kindness of God is such that in whatever state we come to him, we may confidently hope in his mercy. Such are God's waiting ones. And now think of the God on whom we wait. The eye of the Lord is on them that fear him, on them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. Not to prevent the danger of death and famine, this is often needed to stir up to wait on him, but to deliver and to keep alive. For the dangers are often very real and dark. The situation, whether in the temporal or spiritual life, may appear to be utterly hopeless. There is always one hope. God's eye is on them. That eye sees the danger, and sees in tender love his trembling, waiting child, and sees the moment when the heart is ripe for the blessing, and sees the way in which it is to come. This living, mighty God, oh, let us fear him and hope in his mercy. And let us humbly but boldly say, Our soul waiteth for the Lord, he is our help and our shield. Let thy mercy be upon us, O Lord, according as we wait for thee. Oh, the blessedness of waiting on such a God! A very present help in time of trouble, a shield and defence against every danger. Children of God, will you not learn to sink down in entire helplessness and impotence, and in stillness, to wait and see the salvation of God? In the utmost spiritual famine, and when death appears to prevail, oh, wait on God. He does deliver, He does keep alive. Say it not only in solitude, but say it to each other. The psalm speaks not of one, but of God's people. Our soul waiteth on the Lord. He is our help and our shield. Strengthen and encourage each other in the holy exercise of waiting, that each may not only say it of himself, but of his brethren. We have waited for him. We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation. My soul, wait thou only upon God. End of 10th day. 11th Day of Waiting on God by Andrew Murray. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Christopher Smith. Waiting on God patiently. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. Those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the land. Psalm 37, verses 7 and 9. In patience possess your souls. Ye have need of patience. Let patience have its perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire. Such words of the Holy Spirit show us what an important element in the Christian life and character patience is. And nowhere is there a better place for cultivating or displaying it than in waiting on God. There we discover how impatient we are and what our impatience means. We confess at times that we are impatient with men and circumstances that hinder us, or with ourselves and our slow progress in the Christian life. If we truly set ourselves to wait upon God, we shall find that it is with Him we are impatient, because He does not at once, or as soon as we could wish, do our bidding. It is in waiting upon God that our eyes are opened to believe in His wise and sovereign will, and to see that the sooner and the more completely we yield absolutely to it, the more surely His blessing can come to us. It is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. We have as little power to increase or strengthen our spiritual life as we had to originate it. We were born not of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of the will of God. Even so, our willing and running, our desire and effort avail naught. All is of God that showeth mercy. All the exercises of the spiritual life, our reading and praying, our willing and doing, have their very great value. But they can go no farther than this, that they point the way and prepare us in humility to look to and depend alone upon God Himself, and in patience to wait His good time and mercy. The waiting is to teach us our absolute dependence upon God's mighty working, and to make us, in perfect patience, place ourselves at His disposal. They that wait on the Lord shall inherit the land, the promised land, and its blessing. The heirs must wait. They can afford to wait. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. The margin gives, Rest in the Lord. Be silent to the Lord, or, Revised Version, Be still before the Lord. It is resting in the Lord, in His will, His promise, His faithfulness, and His love that makes patience easy. And the resting in Him is nothing but being silent unto Him, still before Him. Having our thoughts and wishes, our fears and hopes, hushed into calm and quiet in that great peace of God which passeth all understanding. That peace keeps the heart and mind when we are anxious for anything, because we have made our request known to Him. The rest, the silence, the stillness, and the patient waiting all find their strength and joy in God Himself. The needs be, and the reasonableness, and the blessedness of patience will be opened up to the waiting soul. Our patience will be seen to be the counterpart of God's patience. He longs far more to bless us fully than we can desire it. But as the husbandman has long patience till the fruit be ripe, so God bows Himself to our slowness and bears long with us. Let us remember this and wait patiently. Of each promise and every answer to prayer the word is true. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Yes, for Him. Seek not only the help, the gift. Thou needest seek Himself. Wait for Him. Give God His glory by resting in Him, by trusting Him fully, by waiting patiently for Him. This patience honours Him greatly. It leaves Him as God on the throne to do His work. It yields self wholly into His hands. It lets God be God. If thy waiting be for some special request, wait patiently. If thy waiting be more the exercise of the spiritual life seeking to know and have more of God, wait patiently. Whether it be in the shorter specific periods of waiting, or as the continuous habit of the souls. Rest in the Lord. Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently. They that wait on the Lord shall inherit the land. My soul, wait thou only upon God. End of 11th day.